What's up, everybody? It's your boy 45 back in the building, another edition of the High Seat. I got a special guest with me today. She is a radio. She heard here on the radio on 107.5 FM. You hear her on other various different things that she does. See her modeling. You also, I believe, you do law too, right?
I work in law office, yes.
She works in a law office. Welcome to the show, Addy Cantu.
Hey,
You hot seat.
Thank you so much for doing this. I know you're a busy woman.
I'm always busy. Oh my God. But it's good. It's a good thing when women are entrepreneurs and they hustle and they work hard. That is good. It's always good.
Now,
I
where do
think
you where do you think you get your work ethic from?
my work ethic, my dad, my father.
Ah,
He was
okay.
a workaholic. He was a person who was very loyal to his employers. He was very loyal to his work, and he never complained. He always was grateful for working, always. And he used to work the graveyard shift. He used to go in at 3 in the afternoon and come out like at 4 in the morning. And he was a welder and he used to make good money, so he never complained. So I learned that from him. We should always be grateful for having a job, actually.
Yeah. Do you know any welding? You got any skills with the welding?
I don't know. No, I
No,
don't. But
it's not
I
your
used,
thing.
I used to feel bad for him because he used to be burned on the arms all the time.
Yeah,
And he loved what he did. So I'm
that's
very proud of
dope.
him. I was very proud of him. So I am glad that I am a little piece of image of what he was.
Okay. Now, so for the people out there that's listening, tell them about who you are. Like, how'd you get your start? From like radio and like working in the law office, modeling. Like, who
Oh,
are you? Who is Addy Cantu?
who's Addy Cantu? Well, when I was little, a lot of people don't know, and I really don't talk about me much. More of I interview people, but nobody has like really interviewed me. Like this is the first time, and this is the first time, by the way, everyone, that I do a podcast, and I'm excited because I don't have to show my face. So, 'cause in the radio we do Facebook Live, so you gotta be looking good. It's like you're on TV for a second. So anyway, Ali Cantu started. I used to dance folklorico when I was little. My brother was my partner, and we used to compete in different schools, and we used to win first place. When you hear the applause of people, when they applaud you and you're number one and you're on stage, right there and then that you love that atmosphere, that you want to do it when you grow up. So I always wanted to be on stage. I wanted to do something that was related, to performing. I didn't know what, but I knew that one day I was gonna, be on stage somehow. So when I was 21, I went to school for modeling and acting in Florida, and I did a little bit of commercials. I did some photographs, and I worked here and there. But I had a little kid at that time. I had a baby, and it's kind of hard when you're a single parent. It's very very hard to pursue your dreams when you have to work and you're a single mom. And you don't have help. So the daycares, they only close until certain hours. So I couldn't do much. But now that my kids are older, God gave me the opportunity to go back to what I love, what my passion was. So my dad passed away 7 years ago, and I was pretty depressed about that. And then I got a phone call, and they're like, "Well, we want to interview on the radio." And I said, "What? Why? What did I do?" I haven't worked in the showbiz for a long time. Like, why me? He goes, "I don't know. You just have that charisma, and I love it, and I want to bring it to the radio." And I said, "Oh my God!" I said no. And they're like, "Yes, come, come." So they kind of begged me a little bit. And I said, "Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm going to go. When do you want me there?" So I went, and then I finished the first radio show. And then they're like, "Can you be the host?" And I said, "What? No." I was all nervous and sweaty. And I was like, "No, I can't. I've never been on the radio. Like, I don't know what to do, what to say." Anyway, so I said, "Well, okay, well, I'm going to give it a shot. And if you guys don't like it, well, you just tell me, be cool about it. We don't like you. You suck." And I stay there. And it's been 5 years. I think around January. I think it was my fifth anniversary in the radio. So now I do radio, and that has brought me a lot of other things. The modeling again. I'm doing a lot of shoots. People like my work. I have ownership of the photographs. Like, how can I say it? I tell the photographer what to do. Like, for example, I already know in my head what theme I want to do. I already know how I want my photos and everything. And they love it because they don't have to tell me what to do. Because usually when you're not an expert in doing photography, well, they kind of have to walk you through. And it's a lot of work shooting and then telling them, move, do this, do that. So I don't. I already know what I want. So all they do, I just tell them, keep shooting, and we have fun. We enjoy it. You have to have fun and enjoy what you do in order to feel like it's not work or it's not difficult for you. When you're doing what you like, it should be nice and easy. So I'm doing that. And then I have a show, it's called Hola RGB. We also interview on Facebook Live, entrepreneurs. We like to interview entrepreneurs and help small businesses to grow, because we were there once and we would love people to help us out too. So we kind of help our community here in the RGB. So that's what we do. We go to their location, their business, whether it's small or big, and we do a 1 hour show. And we interview people. We have a little modeling show, a little bit of everything. We try to make it as fun as possible for the community.
Now, do you remember the first person that you ever interviewed on the radio?
That first what?
Do you remember the first person or the group or whoever you interviewed on the radio? Do you remember the
I
first
don't
your first
remember.
interview ever?
I don't remember. It was 5 years ago. I don't remember who it was, but we always interview groups, and they're local groups here from the valley. So it's always so nice to, it's so nice to see their hopes and in their faces when they want to grow, they want to be famous, and you see it, you can feel it when you're interviewing them. All their dreams come out, and you just want to be part of their dream. And I always tell the people when I interview them, I they always tell me, "Oh, it's my first time I get interviewed on the radio. Thank you for believing in me." And I can feel their dreams, and I go, "I hope when you're famous, you remember me. I was the first person who ever interviewed you."
You should interview this artist by the name of Jairo Rodriguez. He's in
Really,
the
what type
valley.
of music is it?
He can sing whatever. He does R&B, Spanish, yeah, a little bit of everything. He's opened up for like a lot of big artists in the valley. They come like a lot of big artists that come down. He's opened up for them. Like
You should
Don
send me
Omar.
information. Yeah, definitely. I believe in everyone. Anyone that has a potential to grow, anyone that has a dream, I'm gonna be their number one fan, because I was there once and I've been there, and nobody believed in me, and look where I'm at now. And it doesn't come from day to like from today and tomorrow. No, you have to work hard. You have to work really hard every day. You have to work hard, especially I work in the law office from 8:30 to 5:30, and then on Tuesdays I have the Ola RGB from 7 to 8 p.m. On Wednesdays I have the radio from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Let me tell you, I change and I redo my makeup here in the office. When I get out at 5:30, I run to the bathroom and I take my makeup off, and then I put it back on, and then put my whatever I'm going to wear in the show on the radio. And I'm always on the run. I always got clothes, makeup, everything in my car, because I have to be prepared for whatever, A photo shoot, sometimes we have all of a sudden a photo shoot that was unexpected, so we have to be prepared. And it's fun. I mean, I'm very grateful. I love doing what I do. People say that I have no life because I go to sleep at 8 at night because I'm exhausted, But at the end of the day, I'm like, where's my bed? I want to go to sleep because I wake up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym.
Oh wow.
Yeah, every day, Monday through Friday. But it's fun.
Oh,
It's fun. I'm telling you, when you do what you
it's
like,
dedication.
yeah, when you do what you like, it shouldn't be hard to do.
Now you talked a little bit about you and your brother being dance partners. Like,
We were.
what was that like? As far as just doing the dancing. And did y'all travel? You traveled all over Texas, or was
No,
it
no.
in
Actually,
where was it at?
we were in Florida. We were in
Okay.
Florida partners. So we only did it in Florida. It was very fun. Let me tell you something about that brother in particular. He was my partner and we always got along. He's only 3 years older than me. Well, right now he is very sick. He is coronavirus. He's COVID-19 positive, and he's in the ICU in Florida in a very delicate state. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Blessings his
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. I hope so.
Prayers
But
his
yeah, he
way.
was my partner and we had so much fun. We did rock and roll. We did folklorico and it was fun. It total different music, but it was so much fun. I love the rock and roll because it's from the 50s, and we used to dress and dance like the 50s. You know, when they throw you around, remember those type of dances? They bring you on
Mm-hmm.
between your legs and all that. Yeah, we used to do all that. It was
Can you
cool,
still get down?
huh?
Can you still know the dance routine? You still know the routine?
I know some of the routines. I can dance anything. I'm a very good dancer. I can dance salsa, merengue, bachata, anything you put.
So can you twerk?
Except twerking.
So if I put on the City Girls right now, you can't do it.
I can't twerk. I don't know why I can't twerk. I was talking about this last week. I was like, guys, I'm gonna put those YouTube tutorials of how to twerk. I want to learn
And
how to twerk.
they are up there. They
They all
are up there.
know they're
Yes.
up there. I'm gonna be twerking. I'm gonna make some videos twerking. Now,
Oh, you gonna
imagine,
twerk on TikTok?
huh?
You gonna twerk on TikTok?
TikTok. Imagine my age twerking. I don't imagine
How
myself.
old are you? You gotta be like late 20s, early 30s.
No, sir. I am 41 years old.
You're a lie.
No, I'm 41. I'm going to be 42 in February 23rd. God willing. I know.
You
See, we got
you
this inflation.
you are a fine wine.
Oh my God, it's too funny. Well, it's very important, and in serious talking, it's very important to watch what you eat. It's important to rest, and it's important to work out. Very, very important for your health, not for nobody else. For you, for your health, for your heart, for you. People do it for the wrong reasons. People do it to satisfy the world or the other people. To say, look at me, I look fine. No, it's for you, for your health.
And how many kids do you have?
I have two. I have a almost 22-year-old and a 15-year-old, and no plastic surgery. Only one plastic surgery, just one, and
Oh
we all
yeah.
know which one that is.
No, no. And please, I mean, which one was it? I don't know. I mean, I don't like, I ain't gonna, I look at your pictures. You're a very beautiful woman,
Oh, thank you.
but I don't sit there and, inch by inch, like,
Stop lying. You zoom in and zoom out.
okay,
I
maybe when you,
put it in
maybe when you had the picture in the red thong, maybe I did zoom in a
my,
little. I'm
I see
guilty.
it in my
I'm
mind.
guilty.
I can see you zoom in and zoom out.
I'm guilty. I zoomed in on the red panty pic.
I told you
I'm
did.
I'm guilty. I'm
Well,
guilty.
you have to work out. You really, really do have to work out. But I lived in Florida. I was raised in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and over there, everyone has big boobs. If you don't have a big boob, you don't belong to Florida. So I used to work in a plastic surgery place, and the doctor told me that he did not like me because I had small boobs. So he told me to put a gown on, and he made me a big boob.
So you went from a size what to what now?
So a size B as a boy to a double D, and then unfortunately, 10-year mark, I was 21 when I had it done. When I had 10 years with my boobs, one of them ruptured, so I had to had a reconstructive surgery on my boobs. So what the doctor did, he had to do some reconstructive surgery inside of my boobs because the saline water did some damage. Well, the
Mhm.
actual implant did some damage. And anyway, he told me that my boobs were too big, and he said that I looked like a stripper. Those were his words. And I said,
Oh
okay,
wow.
say no more, do whatever you think. And now I'm a B, small B. No, small D. I said David, small D. Very
Okay.
short D, but they're
Now,
small.
are you a proponent of plastic surgery or what?
Don't. Look, I don't have anything against plastic surgery. In fact, I have very good friends who are plastic surgeons. I don't. And just this is my advice to all the girls out there, or guys, because now guys do plastic surgery. If you have the money, if you are able and capable to buy it, you know, it's okay, but do it for you. Don't do it for your boyfriend, don't do it for nobody else. Do it for you because you want to do it, you know, and don't put at risk your rent or your money to eat. Don't. If you don't have it, don't do it. But if you have it and you're doing it for you, why not? Yeah, go for it. The reason I don't do it is because I had a really bad accident, and I have a lot of scars because of the accident on my legs, on my buttocks, on my arms. That you guys don't see it because I am very confident, so people don't notice it unless I talk about it. Once I talk about it, they're like, "Oh yeah, I can see the scars." But anyway, I'm very confident, so I don't want any other scars. And to do plastic surgery, they have to leave you scars, and I don't want no more scars because I already have a lot of scars. That's why I work out a lot. Otherwise, I will probably be number one in that bed, but I'm not. One of my friends who's a plastic surgeon wants to do a tummy tuck, but I'm like, no, no, thank
But you
you.
don't need it.
Maybe a small tummy tuck because I have two C-sections, but yeah, I rather work out. I rather work out. I rather go to the gym. I really do. It's because that's a big scar. Even if it's a mini tummy tuck, it's a big scar.
Okay.
But I mean, if anybody wants to do it, I mean, yeah, go for it. Just be very careful with which doctor you choose to go to. Make sure that they are board certified surgeons. If they're not, watch out. They're not
Now,
good
are you
doctors.
originally from Florida, born and raised, or
I was born in Mexico and raised in Florida.
what part of what part of Mexico?
It's this small town. The name is Montemorelos. It's really, really close to Monterrey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you have like any memories of growing up in Mexico, or?
Oh yeah, I went to high school in Mexico. It was very, very fun. Let me tell you, Mexico, the life over there is very different than the United States. In the they, I mean, they don't have air conditioner in the schools over there, so you know people can smoke inside the classroom. You can chit chat through the window, like you know, I'm sorry, the teachers are not as strict as the United States, but high school over there is like college here. The teachers, if you don't write your notes, literally so bad, too bad, so sad for you. Like just in college, like the teacher doesn't go back, you have to like record what they're saying so you can go back and repeat it several times. That's how you have to do it in school over there.
Now, what are your thoughts about like the ICE and the kids being thrown in cages and separated from their families and things like that? How has that like affected you, even indirectly or directly?
You know, I feel really sad for the immigrants, and that's a very touchy subject for me because, you know, as I was raised here. I was born in Mexico, but I was raised here, and I'm a U.S. citizen, but nationalized, how they call it, naturalized. I think they call it naturalized. Anyway, so um, I feel really bad because they make them believe, the people from Mexico, Honduras, Salvador, Nicaragua, they make them think that the American dream is magnificent, and it's not. The American dream is to work, 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 work. You know, because
Mhm.
you know, and we all in debt. I mean, everybody has debt. You know, and they think that we don't owe anything. They think that the houses are ours, the cars are ours. They have a different image, but in reality, you got to work. The American dream is work, work, and work for what you want. You know,
Mhm.
and that's the dream they have, and it's a false dream. And when they get here, they get treated really bad. A lot of these girls, and this is not talked on the news, but a lot of the girls are raped while they
Mhm.
are you know, held up in these cages. They're raped either by the same people who are there or by the police officers, you know, or the border patrols or whatever, but they are raped. And you know, when they you know, when they were talking about Black Lives Matter, you know, Mexicans, Hispanic, Latin lives matter too. And I don't know why a lot of Latin people were supporting so much about this, when in the same in our own culture we see this, and we've been seeing this for years and years and years, and I don't see them going outside and saying Mexican lives matter or Latin people lives matter, you know what I mean? So I was like, why they're supporting so much the Black Lives Matter if they haven't supported their own people. I do support the Black Lives Matter. I do. Don't get me wrong. I do.
Mhm.
I do that. This George Floyd, did he deserve to die that way? No, definitely not.
Mhm.
But what happened, transpired after that, I do not approve.
Gotcha.
What they were doing, stealing, and all that, I do not approve. But
Yeah.
I think our community is not just one person. Here, there's thousands of people in cages,
Mhm.
thousands of people, but they don't show that on the news.
Well, the thing is this, like even though everybody's entitled to your opinion, I'm so glad you're on the show and you're expressing how you feel, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that African Americans have endured over 400 years of oppression, and besides Europeans, we are the only group of people that have ever been enslaved. Yeah, the first slaves in the United States were actually European, and
Yeah,
even during the Jim Crow time, like there were not only just African American slaves, but there were white slaves. But they don't show that in the movies and things like that. And so, like the reason why the uprising and everything is going on, taking place, and everybody's so upset is because, like I said, African Americans have endured over 400 years of oppression. And again, I'm not saying that it's right for Mexican American for Mexican or Hispanic children to be thrown in cages or the women to be raped and things like that. But they were hanging African American children. They were raping our women, and they still hang us till this day. Now, does that mean that the African American struggle is more important than a Latino or Mexican American struggle? Of course not. But it's just one of those things that, man, like like Brownsville, Texas, for instance. Brownsville was still practicing segregation in the 80s. So one side of the restaurant was white, the other side of the restaurant was Mexican. They had Mexican workers. Black people were still weren't even allowed to eat in the restaurant, and this was in the early part of the 80s, right in Brownsville, Texas. So it's just a lot of things that that people don't know about, just like you said, from either side. You know what I'm saying? So but no, I mean, I love your input, and you're absolutely right. That's why I brought it up, because my son is half Mexican, and that could easily have been him put in one of those cages and separated from me and his mom. So you know I definitely support that movement. And I definitely hope those families, I hope those families get reunited with one another, and those people who were, doing all that ill will stuff to them, hope they get punished and dealt with accordingly, because it's just not right. It's
Because
just not right at all.
at the end, the people, the border patrols are like a cop, and they're the ones who are doing a lot of these criminal things with these poor illegal immigrants, and I've seen this racism, because I go to Mexico. I love my country. I go to Mexico all the time. I have double nationality, and I go whenever I want. And when I come back in the border, they give me attitude
I
for
bet
going
they
back.
do.
And
Yeah,
I speak to
yeah.
them in Spanish. And they, one time I was wearing a shirt that said "Made in Mexico," and the border patrol told me, "And you're proud of wearing that?" And I said, "Fuck yeah, I'm proud of wearing that. I am Mexican, and
Hmm.
I love my country." I'm
Another
sorry. I'm sorry.
another
I'm sorry, I curse, but
No, you're good. No, you can say whatever you want to say on here.
oh,
I was
sorry.
just going to say that like the Texas Rangers, were turned into the KKK, and they used to be in the K. From there, they became Border Patrol.
Yeah,
Like in the state of Texas, a lot of people don't know that. Like the Texas Rangers, and then from there they became the form of the KKK when they got disbanded in Texas, and then from there they became what we now call the Border Patrol. And it's crazy because a lot of Hispanic and other nationalities are on the Border Patrol, and they don't even realize the origins and the roots of where it
yeah,
actually stems from.
and it makes sense because they are trained. If you talk to them, they talk like that. Like their mentality is like that, like a KKK, whatever. It is. Now it makes
Yeah,
sense, you know,
yeah.
definitely. But yeah, I mean, why you question me if I'm going to Mexico? I'm coming in the proper, I have my passport. I'm not passing anything illegal. Who cares if I go 100 times to Mexico? Who are you to tell me why am I, I like, do I love my country? Yes. Like, who cares if I'm wearing a shirt that says made in Mexico? I was made in Mexico, but those input is racism. So we see it here in the border all the time.
Hmm. Now
you know
let's talk a little bit about what the work that you do inside the law office, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been trying to find an entertainment trademark lawyer that handles trademarking and stuff like that for like over a decade, and that's pretty sad. You
because
know,
nobody does that here in the valley.
nobody does it, and I'm like, yo, like, and now I live in Houston. I don't live in the Valley anymore, but now I live in Houston, and I just haven't had the chance to do it because I know it's going to cost me some money. But I want to ask you about, what is it that you do inside the law offices?
Well, I've been working with them for 8 years, and let me tell you, my bosses are the bomb.com. They're awesome bosses. They are, I don't know if I should say this, but they are very wealthy. They're very lucky. I mean, they've worked really hard and they do for what they have. But they're the most humble people in the whole entire world. They are very grateful. I am very grateful for be working with them because they treat us like family. And that's why a lot of us been working for them from over. I'm one of the newer employees, and I'm going to be 8 years with them. They always treat us really nice, like family. They understand when you have to go home and stuff like that. We do personal injury only. That's it. Car accidents, slip and falls. And it's a fun job because you don't it's not divorce. I think divorces can be very stressful because not everyone is happy in the divorce, but here is personal injury. You just got to make sure the client is well taken care of, and then they move on, and then you get the new client and move on. So it's a pretty fun job. I like it. I do have a medical background, so for me it's easy to deal with personal injury because I understand exactly what they're going through. So
Gotcha.
yeah, 8 years, yeah, with them.
Now, do your kids ever want to follow in your footsteps as far as getting in entertainment or anything like that?
Well, I try. I nobody my parents didn't support me when I wanted to be in entertainment, and it's sad. I will give this advice to all the parents who have their kids who wanna be, whether modeling, acting, radio, TV, to support them because it's a really nice career if you do it the right way. Okay, because there's a lot, as we know, a lot of singers get into drugs and all that, but it's not all about that. There's other great stuff out there for people who do want to do this. So I think we should all support our kids. I didn't get that support. That's why at 40 years old, well, 35, I started the radio. I started all over again when I was like 35 years old. So here I am, 41, and working in what I love the most, which is the radio, and doing photography. I love photography. So I tried to take my kids. I took my son, my oldest son, with me several times to the radio, but no, he really didn't. I didn't see him really going that way. But the little one, we did. It's crazy because last year, when I was 40, before my birthday, we did a beauty pageant. Me and him. He won first place in his category. I didn't win, but it was fun to do it together. We did it together. We were competing together. We learned a lot, and he liked it. He actually was asking me about this year, and he liked it. It was so fun to see him enjoy something. So I think he's going to be doing something like this. I
Okay,
just don't know what, but I think,
got you.
but he has all my support in whatever he wants to. I want to teach him whatever I can. I want to see them grow.
Now, what do you like whenever you do your shoots? Like I said, like you say, you're confident in your own skin, and it shows like in your work. I love your work.
Oh, thank.
So like, does the photographer ever say, "Hey, like, when do you feel like what this is a little too much? Like, maybe I should dial it back." Do you ever feel that way, or do you automatically go into something knowing like exactly how far you're willing to show, like much you're willing to show in
Oh
your
no.
photo shoot?
Well, well. I was raised in Florida, so I have a little more open mind than here in the Valley. So there is photos out there that we've taken, and we take it a niche a little bit too much, but it doesn't mean that we're going to show it because we can always edit those photos into something beautiful. Like you can cover, if you're showing a little bit too much, you can always cover it with something. So there is some photos out there that I have in my phone. Whoever steals my phone It's gonna be lucky because there's a lot of photography, professional photography, that hasn't gone out there yet. But yeah, I do. We do take it up a little bit, but not always do I show it. Like I
Got
don't.
you.
Like we cover sometimes. Like there's one on Instagram that you can actually see my whole nipple, but you gotta zoom in, and nobody has catch it. Not that I wanted people to catch it,
They're
but
gonna catch it now. I mean, whoever hears this, they're gonna go right to your Instagram and
going
they're gonna zoom in. They're gonna go all the way in.
well, there's one picture there that you zoom in, you can actually see the whole nipple.
Well, I call nipples Hershey kisses, little
Yeah,
Hershey kisses.
you don't see it at first glance. When you see it, you don't see it. But if you zoom in, like someone I know that has zoomed in my photos, you can see it. But until this day, nobody has told me that they've seen it. So nobody has catch it.
I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna go back and look at it.
Well, I'm telling you, people always tell me, "Oh, I think you sent out there a picture that must have been private." I'm like, "Oh no, I meant to put it up there." Like the one that I'm holding my shirt up, and I put a little cat blinking. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
I'm covering my nipple. Yeah, that one I meant to do put it up there. I should not have. I regret putting that picture. I do. I really do.
Why? But why? But why though? Because I mean,
Mm,
you're in your 40s. You're a mother of two. It's like a testimony of hey, I worked hard for this. Like I'm still sexy even though I'm 40. Because I don't understand. Like a lot of women that I've come across. Some of them feel like as they get older, they dial back the sexy, and I'm like, you don't have to dial back your sexy. You can be sexy. I know 60-year-old women that still wear thongs.
yeah.
So, I
Well,
mean, like,
I got a lot of negative comments about that picture actually, and I lost like 25 followers within the hour with that photo
oh,
on Instagram.
they'll get over it.
Yeah, but I lost like 25 followers within an hour after I posted that photo. And then the worst thing was that you know how you post pictures on Instagram and then it automatically sends it to your fan page on Facebook? I forgot. So when I realized that I already had like 100 likes on Facebook, so it was too late to bring it down. But I know a lot of my family hate me for that photo. I got a lot of haters for that photo, and I do regret it. I am actually considering of bringing it down. I don't know.
Mm.
I
Well,
don't know. You might
I
want to
mean,
give.
it's your picture, it's your body. You do what you want to do with it.
I know,
So,
but I have to. People think it's a little bit too much, maybe, and maybe it's true. Maybe it is. I have to agree. I have to agree with people that maybe that photo it is a little bit too much, and I might bring it down. But it's too late. I already lost followers, and it's too late. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should just leave it just because I have because
yeah, because those people win. If you take that picture down,
yeah,
then if people can't see the art and what you do,
it's art.
uh,
Exactly. That's what
it's
it
all
is.
art. Yeah, it's art.
Photography is art. It is.
Definitely.
But there's a lot of haters. You're not here in the valley anymore, and lucky you. But the people who don't know, here in the valley is such a small town that eventually everybody knows everybody, and there's haters out there. There's a lot. Instead of supporting you and saying, "Oh, I wish you the best," and let me like your picture, let me comment, let me share it, they don't. Isn't that weird? If you talk to Intocable, if you talk to all those groups that came out from the valley, they're all going to tell you the same thing. The least support they got was from the people from the valley. They needed to get out from here to become famous.
Yeah, the
It's crazy.
valley the valley is super racist too. Like
It's super
every
racist.
every every restaurant that I went to or whatever, they got my food order wrong. Like it was just yeah. I
It's
don't
bad.
miss the valley.
It's bad. Yeah, they don't support your work. They don't like it. They don't. It's crazy. You get more support from people who are not from here, like from Houston, from San Antonio. That's why Intocable, which I follow since I was young, they got out of here. They got out of here, and that's how they became famous. If they would have stayed here, they would still be not famous.
Hmm.
And people, I interview artists all the time, and that's the number one complaint they have is that here in the valley the people don't support your work.
Yeah, that's not cool.
It's not cool. We're supposed to support each other, and that's where Ola RGB came out. Ola RGB is to support entrepreneurs, people who have small businesses. So that's what we do. We support them. We help them out. We help
And
them.
how'd you get started with that?
It was Lilio Yorvides. She's my co-host. It was her idea, actually. She contacted me and she told me what did I think about doing a Facebook show, and then we both started thinking about a name. She came out with the idea of Ola, and I came out with the idea of RGV. So we put it together, and then we started recording, and we started recording with a phone, and now we have a production.
Now, how does somebody get a chance to be able to get on your show and
They can
showcase?
contact us. They can contact us. Some people pay, okay, to be on the show, and some people we do in exchange. Um, we exchange for something. For if, for example, what can I say? If they're a massage therapist, well, we'll exchange it for massages or whatever. We try to help each others. So we talk about it, and some people prefer to pay, and we don't charge much. We only charge 250, and with that we pay the production and we pay ourselves if we have enough money to pay ourselves. Sometimes we don't, but we love doing what we do. Is We have a lot of satisfaction in what we do. It's fun. It's fun to come out. It's fun when you go out and people recognize you.
Hmm.
Cool. Yeah.
Now, what is the funniest pickup line you've ever gotten from a man or from somebody, male or female? What's the funniest pickup line you ever got?
What do you mean?
Like, are men intimidated by you? Like, what's the like?
Yeah,
What
I think so. I think
you
some
think
men are
so?
intimidated by me. They said that I'm too much. Like uh I'm too much. Like I work so much, and they tell me I don't need a man, period.
What do you say? What do you say?
Well, I think I'm very independent. I am. I'm very, very independent. I've worked really, really, really hard. I'm very blessed that God has given me the strength to work hard for what I have and for what I want. I'm still a single parent. I have never ever received child support ever, not even 10 cents in my life. So I had to learn how to put priorities first. I don't do my nails because that's not part of for me, that's not important. um I haven't had a haircut in 6 months at least. I think there's a lot of priorities. Girls right now nowadays, they're so fake, and I don't have nothing against them, but they're so worried about extend hair extensions, eyelashes, fake nails, plastic surgery. They're not. That's, to me, it's being someone who you're not. I try to be as unique as me as possible, as natural as I can be. I have stretch marks. I'm a mom, I have two C-sections, you know. I try to be as natural as I can. In fact, I tell the photographers not to Photoshop too much because I hate when they come to you and they say, "Oh, you don't look like your pictures." That is so embarrassing when they tell you that.
But those stretch marks are like just tiger stripes. Who doesn't like tiger
Yeah,
stripes?
they're part of life. That's part of aging, part of everything. How can you stop that? You can't. But guys do get intimidated. I rather be alone, to tell you the truth. In the past decade, only had two relationships.
Oh
One in
wow.
2009, and the last one was in 2018, which we barely broke up 4 months ago. I don't know why he even broke up with me until this day, because I was so good to him. I was a good woman for him, but I'm not going to get into that subject because he just stood me up and I haven't heard from him. We dated for a year and a half, and I haven't heard from him ever since. So anyway, so I don't know what even happened. All I hear is that he talks to a lot of girls, and um, he's doing things that he shouldn't been doing. I feel sorry for him, but anyway, I'd rather be alone. But let me tell you, when the pandemic came in late April, was it early March?
Hmm.
Then I realized I was very lonely. It did hit
Oh,
me. It did hit me. I was like, oh man, I'm lonely, because I was lonely. I was like, oh my God, I saw on Facebook everybody like, oh, in a relationship with so and so, in a relationship with so and so, and I felt that loneliness. So I don't know.
so
Whoever wants to be with me has to be a tough one, because I've been living alone for many years, and
what qualities? What three qualities must he have?
hardworking person like me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to say, oh, I don't want to go to work. No, I want someone to say, man, I love my job. I like working, I like bringing that money to the table. Someone who's motivated to work, who's working and motivated to work. They don't need to have college. They don't need to, I don't ask for all that. I just want a hardworking man, someone who's loyal like me, someone who, I mean, don't get me wrong. You can come and tell me, hey, you want to be my friend with rights? It's up to me if I want to. But don't try to be my boyfriend and you're my boyfriend, but I'm not your girlfriend. You're pretending to be single. I hate liars. So
Mm.
if there's, someone loyal who can be in a monogamy relationship, that's exactly who I want. And that's it. That's all I want.
So
Loyal.
if you're planning a romantic getaway for somebody, what would you plan?
A romantic getaway, I will go to Mexico. To Monterrey. I love going to Mexico, but I like to be home a lot. To me, if someone invites me to dinner, like my boyfriend says, "Oh, let's go to dinner," I always rather stay home and cook at home.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
cook. Like
Are
help
you a
me.
good cook?
I am. I just retired cooking though.
What would you make? What would you make somebody? You meet a guy, you want to impress him. What do you cook? What is your go-to meal?
Huevito. I'm
What's
just
that?
kidding. Egg. I'm just
Oh,
messing with you.
an egg.
An egg. Boiled egg. I don't know, but I know how to make mole. I know how to make chile rellenos. I know how to make cortadillo. I know how to make a lot of stuff. If you don't, you just Google it.
You're funny. All right, so tell the people what you got coming down the pike next. What's next for you, Addy Cantu? What you got going on next?
Addy Cantu, well, if God continues giving me the strength and the health, I want to continue working. I do I'm a volunteer in a hospice on Saturdays, but due to the pandemic, I haven't been able to volunteer. I want to go back as soon as possible, but right now here in the valley, we're having a lot of new cases, crazy of pandemia. It has tripled the digits in this last week. So we were in the 20 every day we were having like 20, 17, 9, 10. Now we're having 70, 80 per day
Oh
new
wow.
cases. So I think they're saying that we're probably gonna go on lockdown again in a week. We might go back in lockdown. But I do want to continue working, I am open to do this kind of things like podcast. I am open to do TV, whatever commercials, anywhere. As long as I have my day off, that like I can put you in my calendar. I'm down to do whatever. I love working. Whatever you guys have in plans for me, I'm there. Like I want to do it.
Go ahead and give out your social media so people can follow your grind and catch up with you and try to zoom in on your pics and catch that nip slip.
Well, if they want to follow me on Instagram, all my social medias is my name, Adriana Cantu, is ADRIANNA Cantu, or Addy Cantu, ADDY Cantu. You can find me on TikTok. I like doing videos on TikTok. That's kind of fun. And, Facebook and my fan page. Everything is Adriana Cantu.
Oh, I got one more question before I let you go. Who is somebody that you would love to interview? What would be your dream interview?
Oh my God, I would love to interview Mark Anthony.
Mm.
He's been I've been his fan since I was little. Since I was 12 years old, I fell in love with Mark Anthony. He was an ugly motherfucker. He was super ugly, but I don't know why I was so in love with him. I was in Florida at that time, and he had long hair. He was really ugly. Pobrecito. He was really ugly. He's still ugly, but he has a lot of personality. His voice is amazing, and he does a lot of work for the poor. He does. He does. And you know what I love about him? He doesn't publish it like other rappers and other singers that have to be in social media, showing off what they do. He doesn't. And
Yeah,
he
that's
helps
true.
his community. And I love that. And he probably has a lot of money, and you see him dressed just with a simple white shirt and a simple pair of jeans.
That might be
You,
why J Lo left him.
huh?
That might be why J Lo left him.
Because he was too simple. Well,
Yeah, too boring.
you know what? Jennifer Lopez likes the diva life, and so does her boyfriend. What's his Rod or whatever his
A
name is?
Rod, yeah.
You know, he loves that. I think they're a perfect couple. Actually, I think I used to love J Lo with Mark Anthony, but now that she's with that guy, I love him even better. You know, I think they make perfect uh couple.
Couple.
The only thing I don't like about Mark Anthony that I've heard, not that I have nothing against people who smoke, but they said that he smokes. He's a chain smoker.
Mm.
I don't know. I've never seen him smoke. I never seen any video or on social media. Never holding a cigarette. But I mean, if he can still sing, that's good. I would love him to live forever and ever. You know, I would hate for them to say that he has emphysema and
There
he's
you
dying.
go.
You know, for smoking. But if he can still sing, that's good. I love him. I love Mark Anthony. But
All
anybody,
right.
Vicente Fernandez, anybody. I'm open
All
for
right.
anybody.
Well, it's your boy 45, man. It's another edition of the Hot Seat. If you want to be on the show, all you gotta do, hit me up. Anything Top Down Magazine, anything Top Down Magazine TV. Hit me in the DMs, and we can work something out. You could be on the show. Thank you again, Addy Cantu, for being on the show.
So thank you.
It's another edition of the Hot Seat.
Hot seat.